Good morning. This is Amika Westerfield, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how to make one of the May Paper Pumpkin bonus cards. It's super simple, super easy, and you can completely personalize it. Now, this is using stamps from the Manly Moments May Paper Pumpkin kit, and we will be making this card Thursday night, excuse me, June 28th from 6 to 8, or Saturday, June 30th from 11 to 1. So I just started off with one of our returning colors, which is Mossy Meadow. Absolutely love this. Just a standard fold on the card. So this card is actually 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches long, and the score line was at 4 1/4. Then I cut this cardstock, and it's a two-sided cardstock from one of my very, very favorite suites from the new catalog called Share What You Love, and I'll do a whole presentation on this line later. It is an amazing line. Very beautiful and very versatile. So to make this super simple, I just cut it a little bit smaller than my cardstock base. So this is 5 1/4 inches long by 4 inches wide. So all that I do here is I take some of my snail adhesive, and I usually do the 4 corners and the center to attach my projects. If it's something like a pocket slide, I might add a little bit more so it doesn't catch as it goes in and out. But this being a standard card, this is perfect. So that was simple for the base. Next, I'm going to take one of the stamps from the Manly Moments stamp set, and I actually do a ton of birthday stamps or cards and also thank you cards. So I need more thank you cards. So I'm just going to take that off. And I'm going to attach it to my block, which I thought I had out, but apparently I did not. So this is one of our clear blocks. The Paper Pumpkin comes with a thinner block, which is really convenient to travel with. I really do like our regular size blocks, and I really recommend you get a full set. These acrylic blocks are amazing. So I use grid paper a lot to line up if you want to line up your stamp. If not, it's clear. And so I just lined up my thank you using the grids, and then I'm just going to line that up on my block. But you don't have to do it, you can just eyeball it. So the thank you is going to be similar to that there. And so I just have a little piece of scrap cardstock. Now the way to make sure this is the right size is I flip my punch upside down and stick it in like that. So I know the cardstock piece is big enough. So what I like to do, you can stamp and then punch out, or you can punch out and then stamp. I am not the world's greatest person at lining up things straight. So I ink my stamp first, and I'm using the little Stampin' Spot Mossy Meadow that came with the Paper Pumpkin kit. And I'm just going to push straight down and straight up. So there's that. Now the punches are supposed to be used where you lay them on the table and punch, but when you're punching out a specific image that you need centered, I find it helpful to flip it upside down. So what I'm going to do here is I'm gently squeezing it just to make sure it's where I want it so I can adjust it. And once I have it where I want, I just squeeze it together and it punches that out. Now this punch is awesome. It's on page 211, and it's the Pretty Label punch. And I really like this punch. It's really versatile. It looks fun for clouds. If you trim off a little bit of that, you can use it on scrapbook pages and things for your clouds. So the next thing, I had pre-punched 2 more pieces using my punch on the Mossy Meadow. And what I like to do on this is I'm kind of lining it up because I want it to be to where it has a border around it. And I'm going to attach adhesive to the very top of this, and then this one is going to go on here around there, so then I'm going to attach it to the bottom of this piece. So the adhesive is on the top of the thank you and on the bottom of the Mossy Meadow. And then I'm just going to line it up. And one thing I like about our snail adhesive, it is a permanent adhesive, but momentarily you can move things around before it sets. So it gives you a little bit of option to get things right. So I'll press down there, and then on the bottom I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to put the adhesive there, and I'm going to put it on the top part of that one so that you get a nice, so it sticks there really nice. And then I just kind of line this up. All right, these pearls are my favorite pearls. You can see that I've used most of the green ones up. It is the Share What You Love Artesian Pearls, and they are absolutely stunning. So I'm going to use 2 of these. And a lot of people will use tweezers. I don't know, I just play around with it till I get it on here where I want it. Tweezers is a good idea though, because then it doesn't go falling off like I just had it do. So when you attach your pearls, you can see where tweezers are in handy here because this one's rolling like crazy. They just press down once you get them where you want them. And this one here is a little bit easier because he's not flipping around. And I will say it's easier to do if it's laying straight, flat on a surface instead of in your hand in the air. So that's all I did there. And then the only other thing I do, there were dimensionals that came with this the Manly Moments May kit. And I have other dimensionals, but I might as well use these because there were plenty left over. So I am a little bit more generous with my dimensionals than other demonstrators. I like a lot. But you can use just 3 if you want, but I did 4 this time. Sometimes I'll do 1 in the center and 1 on each side. But in this case, I just wanted to have all 4 sides of this held down really nicely. And you just peel off the backing, and then you're just going to line it up with your card. And the cool thing is you could jazz this card up. You could add some ribbon to it, but we're just going to keep it kind of simple. And I'm just going to lay it down centered right to left, and then my up and down is a little bit more forgiving. So there we go. That's one of the thank you cards on the outside. Then all that I did on my inside of this card is I cut this piece of cardstock, and they have a great little stamp on here called For All You Do. So you can do that, or you could do, you know, something else if you wanted to. You could leave it blank and write in it. So on this card, I stamped For All You Do. This card here, I'm actually leaving blank because it's a thank you for a gift. So this one here, I'm just going to adhere my white panel on the inside so that people can see when I write on it. And again, I just do the 4 corners and the center and attach it down. Now, I love our Stampin' Scrub and Stampin' Mist. It's like the washer and dryer for rubber stamps, but Stampin' Up! Came up with a new thing also, which is convenient to take with you. It's a chamois, and you see how dirty it is? All I do, it hardens, and you think it's ruined, but then you wet it down, and you can actually, it's really good for the photopolymer stamps, or if you're using the Stamparatus to clean stamps on that, because it does bend. Some demonstrators will cut this into pieces. Some will store it in one of our cases like that. So that's another way to clean the stamps. So that's how you make that stamp. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.